Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. So today, many of you who are on Mr. Dave Chesson, who is of course the Kindlepreneur's email list, may have seen us featured on there. And Dave, Hank, and team, if you guys are watching this, I was completely unaware that this is going to happen, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It does mean a lot to be endorsed by people of your caliber, so thank you. So what I wanted to do, guys, is I wanted to go over Dave's email and just really sort of like unpack a few things that he says in there in regards to what we do, because if you guys know me already, you know I've been publishing in the public domain space for 12 years now, a very long time. It just goes so fast. So essentially, I could be considered an expert in this space, right? I am the only person who I'm aware of in the world who has been publishing into this space for as long as I have, with success. Okay, a lot of people have come and gone over the years, but we are still here and we're still creating brand new accounts and growing them to six figures plus on a passive scale, right? Because we don't run ads or anything like that consistently all the time. In fact, it's Saturday here and I was just publishing today. So let's just jump over to Dave's email and let me shrink my little head here and let's have a look. Okay, so Dave went on a podcast, and on that podcast, these who were they actually? Let's have a look. Blurry Creatures podcast. Shout out to Blurry Creatures. They published a public domain book, the Book of Enoch, and it's a very popular book. This one, most people should know it, whether you're religious or not. It is a religious title, and the religious niche in public domain is quite a large niche, right? Therefore, it's a little bit competitive too. However, when it comes to public domain books, the competition level is absolutely nothing compared to these other publishing methods, because public domain requires certain nuances. There are certain rules, regulations, IP laws, and things like that that get in the way of most people just jumping in and flooding this market. We have absolutely mastered these things. So we are able to actually take advantage of a little known strategy, right? It's well known, but it's little implemented, I should say. A very little implemented strategy, and we can do that successfully on an ongoing basis. Simply because I took the time to learn these laws. I took the time to learn to work with the lawyers and actually get it written out in such a way that all of our students can understand these laws, because it can be quite complex when you're dealing with law and policy at the same time. It can get quite complicated. However, we've really simplified these things. So the wonderful guys, Luke Rogers here from Blurry Creatures podcast, published the Book of Enoch, and he goes on here to say that this book hit number 28 on Amazon, which is absolutely fantastic, right? Bestseller, became a bestseller on Amazon, essentially making quite a lot of money. Now, what I want to let everybody know, however, is public domain, or the way that we do it anyway, is not so much about making squillions of dollars off one single book. It's very rarely that that's the case, right? What we actually teach is the publishing house method. So publishing a pool of books into the marketplace, and we can do this because, as Dave says in this email, there's 100,000 plus well-known books, often with thousands, sometimes thousands of years, like the Book of Enoch, with proven sales data against them. People have been buying these books for thousands of years. Just because we're in 2024 doesn't mean they're going to stop doing it now all of a sudden, right? Modern people tend to think that only modern things are important. However, most of our modern society is based on the past. Most of our modern movies are based on public domain books, right? So these are things that maybe the media landscape might change slightly, like ebooks, for example, or audiobooks. However, still to this very day, and growing on an exponential scale, the biggest format that sells the most is paperback books. And it's now starting to be closely followed by hardcovers since Amazon released them. But back to the point, and the point is, it's very rare that you're going to publish a single public domain book that's going to hit number 28 on Amazon and become a bestseller, and you're going to make squillions of dollars off that one single book. Instead, it's much better, much smarter to use the publishing house method, where we can publish a pool of books into the market, and we call this publishing into the data. So what we do is we sit back, we have a look at that pool, we publish books that are in multiple genres by multiple authors by design. So we can sit back and have a look at what actually happens, what sells, what doesn't, and then we can go in and we can pick it apart. Why did this sell? Was it the author? Was it the title? Was it the description? Was it the cover? Was it the cover structure? Was it the elements inside the cover? Like the entire buying journey, we pull it apart and we figure out why that book sold over books that didn't sell. And then, guys, we simply just do more of what works, right? It's a very simple concept, but like I said, it does require a lot of nuances when you're working with intellectual property and things like that. So this is fantastic. Like, hats off to these guys. I have books, like singular books, that do things like this as well, but it didn't happen overnight, right? Because we do a passive strategy, doesn't happen overnight. Whereas I'm not sure what their strategy was. They could have possibly ran ads, put a lot of money into that book. We just don't do that. We prefer to go the publishing house model, because the moment that you switch off ads, you might have ranked a little bit by running the ads and getting sales volume, because that's all a factor when it comes to the Amazon algorithm and ranking. But we prefer to do it like in an organic manner, which obviously takes longer, but then you end up with a bunch of optimized books that work because you published into the data, ranking really well and making you substantive passive income, really forever, right? Really forever. And you can pass these businesses down to your children, and they do literally run themselves, right? You might have to check an email here and there. That's about it once you get to that point. Is it easy to get to that point? No. It's a business and it requires really a lot of consistent commitment to get there, of course. But is it worth it? Without a doubt. So yeah, I just really wanted to let people know that this is definitely possible. And man, like, I'm so rapt that these guys pulled that off. Is it how we do it? Not really. But it's definitely possible, right? Now let's have a look at what else is here. Yep, go check out Dave's blog post and everything that he's mentioned about it. Such good knowledge in there, man. It's really, really, really top quality stuff. But like what we see here is just phenomenal. We've put in so much work into this program. We consolidated it all into one single Discord server. We have our entire training program in the Discord server, all of our training videos, table of contents which pull all the content together. All of our videos are also chaptered, so it's very easy to go back and rehash things that you might have forgotten about. Everything is really, really well structured, and this is also a daily coaching program. Like, it's clear that Dave and his team over there at Kindlepreneur would not, endorse us if we didn't have our stuff together, right? So inside there, we also we do daily coaching, and it's not like when I first started this a little over 3 years ago. I was in programs where I paid $10,000 plus to get into, and the hardest thing that I struggled with was coming against an obstacle, a roadblock, a hurdle, and not being able to ask a question about it for a week. And then I had to get on a Zoom call with 50 other people, and my question would only get like 2-3 minutes airtime max. And I had other things that I needed to pick apart in there. So what I wanted to actually do, sorry guys if you can hear my kids upstairs, what I wanted to actually do with our program was create a strategy where we could get back to you within 12 hours. So we have a 12-hour policy, which means you reach out and ask a question, and we not only answer that question within 12 hours in the coaching server, we will have you well on your way to overcoming that obstacle and that hurdle within that 12-hour period. And we do that very much by videos like what you're seeing right now, where I'll jump on or another coach will jump on to a video and we'll unpack your problem. We'll help you really discover why that problem's happening, how to overcome it, and how to prevent it next time, right? But we also have one of the biggest databases, searchable databases of frequently asked questions, and there are thousands upon thousands, if not tens of thousands, of frequently asked questions in there that you can search and get instant answers on everything public domain publishing. So yeah, again, guys, like this is just phenomenal to get this shout out by Dave and the Kindlepreneur team. Thank you so much, guys. And if anybody out there is thinking about publishing public domain, it is one of those things that is very difficult to go it alone, right? Simply because of all of the IP and the intellectual property and the rules and the regulations and Amazon policy. See, our number one motto is always within law and policy. Number one motto at the Period Time Publishing Program, always within law and policy. And we've become absolute masters of doing that, and we teach our students to do so as well. So guys, I'm going to drop a link somewhere around this video if you want to check us out. It's super cheap, right? We don't charge you $10,000 to work with us. It's $1.50 a day. So if you want to come check it out, you haven't got much to lose, right? I'll drop the link somewhere around this video, and you guys have a great day. Thank you.